This is Splashing Sprint, possibly one of the most difficult challenge levels in Astro Bot, and I'm here to give you a breakdown of a successful run, and hopefully it can help you too. At the end of the video, you'll see the run in full, so let's get into it. It all starts with this little rubber ducky here, which for some inexplicable reason sprays water, and you can use it to solidify the lava ahead. In this section, you want to head towards the middle of those spiky balls, slightly to the right of the screen, and then you want to head to the left where there's another group of spiky balls, and in the middle of those is the second rubber duck that you want to head towards. The only tip that I have for you in this section is to jump and try and spray the water a bit ahead of you, but it is tricky and it's going to require a few attempts. Now, when you get to this section, you need to do two things here. You need to solidify the rest of your walkway, and you need to avoid these really annoying swinging laser gate things. That much is pretty simple, but the tricky thing is at the top of your screen there's a frog that's going to fire rockets at you. And the best approach for me was to make the jump and then hit square to throw the rubber duck at the frog to get rid of him before he fires his rocket. And that's the best way to avoid getting hit by this frog's rockets. This next section, you got this little pumpkin guy here, and you just want to kind of lure him into shooting at you and then jump around the projectile. And now you get to this platform, and here when you get onto the platform, around about where that rubber duck is, you're going to trigger some lasers that move across these platforms, and they move pretty quickly, so you have to move pretty quickly. The problem is there's oil on these platforms that slow you down, so you really need to avoid the oil. Luckily, you can use the water from the rubber duck to get rid of the oil. And there's some guides out there that suggest jumping onto this platform and then walking as slowly as you can up to the duck, getting it and spraying as much of the oil away as you can before you trigger the moving lasers. I found that it didn't really work for me because it didn't give me enough time to escape from the moving lasers. The way that I ended up doing it was to jump onto the platform, grab the rubber duck, and in one movement just keep going and keep spraying the oil and the bad guys. And it gives you just enough time. And of course, if you get to this platform, you've got just enough time to get rid of that pumpkin. And then it's just a matter of timing your jumps over this section until you get to these sort of swiveling platforms with lava rolling on them. And the best thing to do here is just try and plot your course when you make this jump across, which way is going to be best. It changes in a moment, so you have to react pretty quickly to the movements of the platform, but it's pretty much going to rely on your reflexes and adaptability. Now, at this point, you get these little mines that attach themselves to you. The best thing to do with these is to already be charging up your spin move when you make the initial jump. I don't do it in this run, but it really is the best way to do it. And that means just pressing and holding square while you're jumping so that you can power up the spin, which lets you either spin in the air to get rid of the mines or to do it as soon as you hit the platform. With me, it took me an extra half second to get rid of the mines, and you basically need all the time you can get on these platforms to figure out how to get across. And then it's just a case of, again, plotting your best way across the platform and just trying to avoid everything. And again, you got another one of these pumpkin guys, and again, you just want to kind of lure him into a shot before jumping around and avoiding his projectile. And then you would think you're finished, but you're not. You're not. There's this section. And these rotating platforms are pretty easy on their own, but the trick is here. When you get to this one, you need to time your next jump to make sure that those little laser gates are open and give you enough time to get the rubber duck in the middle of the platform. Once you have this rubber duck, I found it's easier just to stick to one side of the platform, so just spray as much towards one side of the platform as it is, and time your jump to land on the areas that have already solidified. That's the level, and you got your bot. It's not an easy level. This took me at least 50 attempts, so hopefully this video helped. Now you can watch the full run in its entirety. If you liked this video, like it, and subscribe to the channel for more gaming content for busy gamers.